This story is actually interesting. So you have a brother in Detroit, and he had settled a racial discrimination lawsuit and found himself in another lawsuit after a bank refused to cash the settlement checks. So let's say on Tuesday, Sauntore Thomas went to TCF Bank in Livonia, a suburb of Detroit, to open up a new savings account, deposit checks, and cash another. So it said the situation went downhill after Thomas met with Erika Mack, and said the assistant branch manager. So Mack told him the checks needed to be verified. Okay, that's normal. They verify a paper check by the bank's computer software and asked him, how did you get this money? Oh boy, pocket watching. Don't matter how you get the money. You just verify the check. You know, but they always pocket watching black people. So they say after the brother had told her it was from a lawsuit settlement, and said she walked away to call in the checks. And since it was a computerized verification system, wasn't working that day, when she returned, the woman told him that the person who does verification wasn't present. So they say he said he will wait until they return, and say the amount of his settlement was not revealed per the terms of a federal lawsuit against the former employer, Enterprise Leasing Company of Detroit. So it said within minutes, it said the brother was face to face with 2 Livonia police officers, and 2 more officers were guarding the bank's doors. So he said the encounter frightened the brother. He's 44 years old. He said, I feel very intimidated because that if I had gotten loud, they would have had me on the ground for disturbing the peace, but I didn't get loud. I didn't do anything. So the brother explained his situation to the officers and offered a business card for his lawyer, Deborah Gordon. So it said he got on the phone with the bank. He said, I sent them my federal court complaint to see if it matched. He said, I did everything, the brother stated. He said that obviously, he said assumptions were made the moment he said he walked in. Based on his race, it's unbelievable that, you know, this happened to him all over again. So it said, despite, they say, Thomas, the brother, and Gordon, which is the attorney, the bank still refused the brother request and filed a police report for check fraud. You hear me? So they say he eventually took the checks to a Chase Bank branch where he opened a new account and deposited his money. It was available in 12 hours. He said he didn't deserve treatment like that. He said when he knew that the check wasn't fraudulent. He said, I'm a U.S. veteran. He said, I have an honorable discharge from the Air Force. He said, it discriminates me because I'm black. None of this would happen if I were white. That is 100% true. If you're white, you have white privilege. Then those who say we don't have privilege, we're suffering in America. No. Because trust me, no. When you have white privilege, you have everything. Okay? All you got to do is put a little effort behind it. So they said he filed a lawsuit against TCF Bank the next day. The TCF Bank spokesperson says the checks presented include a void watermark when they scanned the checks, and said racism wasn't a factor. One thing I like when they say racism wasn't a factor or it's not about race. You are the last people in the world that can tell a black person what's about race or not. You have no authority to say anything what's about race or not when you have built a whole system based on race and hating the race of people, the black people. That is in the foundation and DNA of America. It's the hatred of the black man and black woman and black child. The only thing you like is a black dog. That's it. But when it comes to black people, hell no. So don't be walking around here saying that race isn't a factor. So he said something didn't look right. He said 3 checks presented that day, one for $59,000, one for $27,000, and one for $13,000. But if a white man walked in there with that, you're like, oh, hi, Brad. And say, hey, you need anything? That's all it would have been. It would be no. This Negro walking in with all that money. What he gonna do with that money? So he said he's suing the bank for unspecified damages, wanting an apology. Well, you know what? Y'all gonna pay him again. Like that's the irony. It's like he dealing with situations and like God just keep giving him money. Like but the brother's smart. He filed lawsuits, and that's what y'all need to do. File lawsuits. I know that lawyer was salivating and say, "Ooh, I'm getting paid again," because lawyers like that get paid on the back end with the settlement. So that lawyer's like, can't wait to get at that bank. to get that money. You know, I know it's a definitely a humiliating thing, calling the race soldiers and everything, but man, that's the life of a black man in America. I remember in Nairobi, I went to the Barclays Bank. None of our brothers and sisters in there. No look of suspicion. Went in there to cash in some US dollars for Kenyan shillings. Didn't ask where I come from. Didn't ask about my money. Didn't ask anything. Just making small conversation. How you doing? You know, it's your first time here. Just very welcoming and friendly. But here in America, you walk in with your payroll check they gave you at your job, and they're looking at you funny because it's too much money. These people have a sick mentality toward black folk. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation that happened with this brother. And I know many of you probably have some bank stories. That's why, for me, I try to minimize bank encounters. That's why I love direct deposit, because direct deposit, you don't have to pass with no paper checks. They get real crazy for some reason when black folks have money with a paper check.